The Lincoln Project is out with a new vicious ad, and it pokes fun at the president's terrible interview with Chris Wallace.
If I may, sir, respectfully, in the Fox poll, they asked people who is more competent, whose mind is sounder.
Yeah.
Biden beats you in that.
Let's take a test. Let's go down. Joe and I will take a test. Let him take the same test that I took.
Incidentally, I took the test too when I heard that you passed it. Well, it's not the hardest test.
Nobody's done what I've done.
There's a picture and it says what's that, and it's an elephant.
No. See, that's all misrepresentation. Yes, the first few questions are easy, but I'll bet you couldn't even answer the last 5 questions. I'll bet you couldn't. They get very hard, the last 5
Well,
questions.
one of them was count back from 100 by 7.
And let me tell you, you couldn't answer
All right, what's the question?
many of the questions. I'd get you the test. I'd like to give it. But I guarantee you that Joe Biden could not answer those questions.
Okay.
Don't you believe America deserves a president who doesn't brag he can spot an elephant?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty bad. Okay. Vicious ad, as always. Making fun of Trump, using Chris Wallace. Digging the Seinfeld music in the laugh track, though. Gotta love that. So, look, if you watch the whole thing, and that's most of it, basically. But it's a highlight of most of the dumb things that he said during that interview. And there was a lot. So, actually, we could call it probably a low light. So now, the good thing about that is I don't really have to go through and debunk some of the crap that he said, because you guys either already know it, he's doing disastrously in the polls, but also the fact that Chris Wallace essentially destroys him. But the ad, in general, is designed to get under Donald Trump's skin. There's another, of course, audience that's targeted for that, and I'll get into that in a minute, but I just got to say, getting under Donald Trump's skin is something that the Republicans are really, really good at. You know why? Because they don't mind being vicious. They don't care about policy. But in this election, these kind of ads actually work. And normally they don't. Normally, of course, people would want a little bit, to know a little bit more about policy and things like that. Or at least I think that that's the case. I think that's important to talk about policy. But with Trump, again, getting under his skin is just fun. And that, of course, gets me to that later point of who the audience is. But that said, I wouldn't completely leave policy out of ads. I'd probably do a couple, about Donald Trump not having any sort of policy, nothing that really helps the American people. And, the fact that him dealing with COVID and Black Lives Matter, this has been an absolute debacle. And that's just me. But the audience, as I said before, this isn't made to appeal to Republicans that are pro-Trump or that are even on the fence when it comes to Donald Trump, which I don't really think any Republicans are at this point. No, this is made for libs. Of course it's made for libs. That's the target audience. And that's admittedly probably why I enjoy them, because it is targeted towards people that, are obviously against Trump. But there's a bad side to that. And one of the reasons is that this is leading to liberals showering a Republican organization with cash. How much cash? Well, the Lincoln Project said last week that it raised about $16.8 million in the second quarter of 2020 alone. These Republicans, they figured out how to perfect the grift. You put out good ads that are targeted towards Democrats. And again, they're fun. I do enjoy them. And you end up raising millions from unsuspecting liberals. And then you turn around later on and use the money against progressive Democrats. I mean, helps the establishment, obviously. It helps Pelosi, helps Schumer, helps the DNC, and it helps them to fight back against progressives. Again, that's my speculation. They haven't actually done that yet. But you think the Lincoln Project isn't going to attack progressive Democrats once they get rid of Donald Trump, or at least people that were in the Lincoln Project? I see it coming. Not good. And look, Emma Vigeland also had a warning about this. Here's what she tweeted quite some time ago, actually. She said the Lincoln Project isn't just a vehicle for grifter GOP strategists to take MSNBC fans' money and put it directly in their pockets. which is exactly what they're doing, by the way. A lot of these people, Rick Wilson, for example, is constantly on MSNBC. And so is Steve Schmidt. George Conway is basically vaunted as a resistance hero on Twitter. And so, no, these guys they're collecting a lot of money because, well, they can't get it from the Republicans. A lot of the donors have actually run away from Donald Trump, except for a couple of very big mega donors. Now, she continues with her tweet. She said, it's also a Trojan horse for ex-Bush aides to influence Biden if he wins, leveraging their 2020 help to counteract an insurgent progressive wing. And she's absolutely right. And I don't think people have really looked at this tweet and really analyzed just how correct that she is. 100%. 100%. You know who runs this. George Conway, Rick Wilson, Bill Kristol, Steve Schmidt. These people are the worst of the worst of the Bush-era Republicans. They are not liberal. They are anti-progressive. And they also don't represent the Republican Party, who, by the way, overwhelmingly backed Donald Trump. He's got over 86% approval. So, again, this is what they're doing, right? They are marketing towards liberals, and they are grifting from liberals who are anti-Trump. So, again, funny and good ads aside, and the quality of these are top-notch. Understand, right? But remember, just please remember who these people really are. They want to get back into power. They want to be rehabilitated. And unfortunately, the Democrats are giving them a home. They're giving them a home because, well, hey, you're not Trump. Yeah, but where do you differ on policy? Maybe you're not quite into separating children from their parents at the border. Okay, well, there's one policy difference, maybe, but you are for increased immigration, not increased immigration, sorry, decreased immigration, right? Putting up barriers, making it difficult for immigrants to get into this country, making it more difficult for them to get things that they need to survive in this country, not doing a pathway to citizenship. Remember, the Republican Party torpedoed its own pathway to citizenship bill back during the Obama years. And these same people, by the way, were saying the most heinous things about the LGBT community, right? About Barack Obama. So now they're suddenly saying, oh, don't worry, we're now on your side because of Donald Trump. Understand that they're not. They're really not. They are not our allies. They are not our friends. And I know some people are saying, well, yeah, but the enemy of our enemy is our friend. We'll call it maybe a fair weather frenemy at this point, because what they're doing now is, yes, they're focusing fire on Donald Trump, but later on, after they've collected all this liberal, MSNBC viewer money, they're going to turn around and use it against us. So please, don't send them your money. You can laugh at their ads. You can enjoy them. I do. Again, since they get under Donald Trump's skin. But if you're progressive at all, just know that this money that they're being showered in right now is going to be used against you in the near future. So just watch out for it and realize just who these people really are. That is my warning. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a patreon.com/TYTNation set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent progressive media.